Oh my goodness. I think it's working. I hope it's working. I'm having some crazy technical difficulties. Ah, let's see. Okay. I hope that this is working. This has been crazy. Hey Dan, can you hear me? I don't know. I'm having some crazy technical difficulties. So I had to just go with my webcam on the computer. I was trying to get my microphone to work. So if y'all can hear me, let me know because it's been crazy. Okay, cool, cool. What's up? What's up? Hey Dan. Oh my goodness. Anthony, how you doing? How you doing? Hey John. Oh, it's good that you made it to the live. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm hating this camera, but I had to just roll with it because, yeah, I had some difficulties going on. So we rolling. So that's good. I hope everybody is having a good evening. I just wanted to come on here for a little bit to share my experiences with you guys at my first San Diego Comic Con. Um, it was it was quite an adventure. But before we get into that, hi Kenny, thanks for stopping by. Um, I know it had been a minute since I had put out a video, and yeah, I know you guys always say I don't owe you an explanation and things like that, and I get that. But stuff just started happening life wise. Last time I did go live, you guys know that I was dealing with high blood pressure, and I am happy to say that that has gotten much, much better. It's actually been normal for the last few months. I definitely wanted to take a step back and focus on getting that under control, which I did. I am still on the medication, but it is under control. So I'm excited about that. And then, just other than that, guys, just normal life things. When I started this channel, I had a lot more time on my hands. This channel was started during COVID, so I'm sure a lot of us had a lot more time on our hands. And so, once things started to normalize, I found out that I had a lot less time to come on here and make videos, and just to spend time with my family, and then get back to traveling. All of that stuff just started happening, which meant less time for me to do this, and then finding a balance. And that's what I'm trying to do now, is just find a balance on, being able to do this, because I do enjoy doing this with you guys. And then also, doing the normal life things. I won't say they get in the way, because, it's good when we can do things with our family. So, hey, Comic Journey, thank you for stopping by. So, as you guys know, I went to San Diego Comic Con a couple of weeks ago. It was quite an adventure for my first time. I did get to do a lot, but I also missed a ton of stuff. Like, I didn't get to do any panels at all. Um, I was really focused on getting signatures from some of my favorite artists. And, that was kind of like my laser focus. And then just getting to tour around to see what San Diego Comic Con was about. So I'm going to tell you about the 2 days that I was there. I only went on, what is it, Thursday and Friday. I was afraid to do Saturday. I heard it gets crazy on a Saturday. So I only purchased tickets for the Thursday and Friday shows. So let me see here. What you say, Dan? Yeah, the pressure to post social media content is real. Nobody puts more pressure on these. Absolutely. So no worries. And I appreciate that, Dan. That is an awesome comment. And I will say, at first, maybe there was a bit pressure. People kept asking me, well, when are you gonna put out another video? When are you gonna do another video? And as much as you want to, there are just things that you have to prioritize over this. I do this channel for fun. It's not monetized. Um, I just do it to share my passion with you guys, to, kick it with you guys. And that's about it. So it's all about fun for me with this channel. And, sharing my joy and sharing knowledge when I get knowledge, which I am going to share some things that I learned at San Diego Comic-Con. So, what was the first thing I did? So one of the artists that I wanted to get a signature from was Peach Momoko. And they had, uh, the way it was set up was that you had to go to a booth. She was with Trinity Comics, and get a ticket that would then tell you what time you would come back to the booth to get in line for her signature. Um, so day one, I'm up early. I'm at the hotel. I think I got up at like 4:30 in the morning. The hotel that I happened to stay at had a free shuttle service to the convention. So that worked out. I did not have to rent a car. Y'all, I used the Uber for the first time in my life. I mean, I have my own car here, so I've never needed an Uber. But when I got to San Diego, I was learning some things. So I took my first Uber when I was there, which wasn't bad. And then to save money, I was lucky enough to get a hotel that provided free shuttle service to the convention. So I'm up early, and I get on the shuttle, and I'm there. And I don't know if any of you have ever been to San Diego Comic-Con, but the line starts outside, and they have like these like tents kind of things, canopies. And the whole first part, they have them in sections. So the whole first part, I got there probably at like 5, maybe a little after 5, was already full. They were already into the second section, which was starting to fill up. So I was kind of midway in the second section. Okay, not too bad though, not too bad. Once you go in, they don't make you stand out there the whole time. The convention opens up at like 9:30 in the morning, and yeah, they let you in, and you go into this giant hallway, basically to loop all the way around. The convention floor where the exhibits are downstairs, but they make you go upstairs and wait in this giant loop of a hallway. And I mean, giant. It is huge. Um, so then once you're in there, we wait for a couple of more hours until they open the doors to the convention. So I was there, met some nice people on the first day, because you're in line for hours with the same people. But I wasn't too far back. So I thought I had a really good shot to get to, the Peach booth to get the ticket. Now, the other thing is that I also had a prearranged commission done with Ryan Benjamin, which, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I did post it there, and I can show it to you guys in a second if you haven't seen it. But he told me, like we were talking on Instagram prior to the convention, let me know what to do when I get there and things like that. Since I wanted my sketch on a blank sketch cover, I had to get the book to him. Otherwise, anyone who prearranged the sketch, he did it on like 11 by 17, art sheets that he already works off of. But I had a blank book, so I had to get the book to him. He was like, get the book to me as early as you can, so I can work on your sketch, because he knew that I was only going to be there for Thursday and Friday. He was like, so I could have your sketch done for you by Friday. So drop it off to me Thursday morning. Okay, so I'm trying to prioritize. Okay, run to the Peach booth and go get the ticket and get my time for that. Then go by Ryan's booth and drop off the book. And then there was also some exclusives that I wanted, which was the Batman 655 silver foil edition, and the Batman 655 facsimile blank, because I like Damian Wayne. He's my favorite Robin, and I know he's a little rude, crude boy, but I love him. And I wanted to make sure I got some cool blanks, which is also his first cameo appearance in that issue, so I can get some cool commissions done. So those are the three main things that I needed to do that day, or that morning, I should say. Okay, so I get to the convention floor. They open the doors early, actually. Let me see what's up real quick. Let me catch up on this. Yes, yes, Dan. It was my first Uber. Yes, I have a car, so I don't need Uber, and I don't really hang out at bars and stuff. I don't drink, so I don't need Ubers. I have a car. So hey, Easy Reader, thank you for stopping by. Jig, what's up, Jigs? Thank you for stopping by. Okay, so they opened the convention doors a little bit early, so they did it before 9:30. Once you're in this hallway, you have to everybody has to mush down these two escalators. It's only two, and everybody is like squishing and mushing trying to get down the escalator to get to the exhibit floor. So I wasn't too far back, I would say. I was probably in a decent position where I felt that I had a good shot at getting to the booth on time and getting a ticket to get the peach signature. I made a beeline, went straight there. I get there to the booth and they say, "Oh no, we changed it. Now you have to go to this booth and get the ticket." So it was just a little bit, a couple of booths down. So I go to that booth and they say, "Oh no, we changed it to the wall." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, where do I go to get the ticket?" So I go to this wall where this lady is holding a line, a sign, and it says ADA. So they let the disabled attendees in line first. And then this other lady came right over and held another sign that said line capped. And I'm like, I'm telling y'all, it wasn't even 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I made a beeline straight there from the escalator, getting down, and the line was already capped. No more people could get in the line for a ticket. So the thing when I think about it, hindsight, is that I'm not sure if the line was capped just for the ADA people, or if they let regular, non-disabled people in, and they capped the line after that. It wasn't clear to me, but the line was done, and they wouldn't let anybody else in the line. So I was kind of dejected. I'm like, really? I'm here this early. I got up at 4:30 in the morning, and I still didn't make it to get a ticket. So then I went, instead of going to Ryan's booth, because I wasn't sure if he was at his booth and all set up yet, I went to the DC booth because I wanted those blanks in the silver foil books. And then a friend of mine also wanted the Bank Robber Joker gold label McFarlane toy that came out. So he asked me to pick that up for him. So I go straight to DC at this point. I still need to get my book to Ryan, but I figure, okay, let me go grab this stuff from DC, and then I'll shoot over to Ryan. Y'all, I was in line at the DC booth for the next 3 hours. I could not believe it. It was unexpected. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss my chance at getting my commission. And I'm feeling bad because I prearranged this with Ryan already, only to be at the DC line. Now, could I have left the line? Yes. But at one point, they capped the DC line, which means if you leave the line, you cannot get back in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? So that was probably like an hour into it. We were inching and inching. So I'm getting to know people in line because there's nothing else to do but talk to the people around you. And everybody around me was more of a seasoned con goer. They had been to SDCC at least 5 times or more. And I'm asking them, is it normal for us to be in line this long to purchase items? And they all said no. They said this was abnormal for merch purchases. It's normal if you are going to Hall H and you want to go see the celebrities and the panels. Then 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. That's normal for Hall H. Just to purchase T-shirts, toys, action figures, all of that. 3 hours, y'all. I'm like, wow, I did not expect this as the first part of my con. But The worst part would have been if I got up there and everything I wanted was sold out. So luckily that was not the case. I was able to get everything that I got in line for. Um, the bank robber Joker, I guess they figured it was going to be a hot item, so they limited that to two per customer. And it actually was. So my friend wanted one. I bought one, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm not into action figures. You see, I do statues. I'm not really an action figure person. So I flipped it. I stood in line for 3 hours. I'm like, well, maybe I could just make a little money off of this. So I did. I didn't kill it because, I understand, as a collector, I'm not trying to break anybody's pockets, but, it doesn't hurt to make a little money. So I did. And the customer was happy. I put actually the best price out there. Everybody else wanted over $100, and I priced it for way less than that. So anyway, that's how the first 3 hours of my first day went. So now I'm scurrying and running over to Ryan Benjamin's table, and he's already working on somebody else's piece. And I'm apologizing like crazy, like I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, if I'd have known the DC line was going to take 3 hours, I would have gone to his booth first. Um, he was very nice, y'all. I don't know if you guys, any of you, seen the Batman statue collector. He's another YouTuber, but he had gotten a commission as well from Ryan Benjamin. His turned out really nice. He actually got two. So he was able to get mine done as well. And I was extremely grateful. He was super nice. So once I got my book to Ryan and he assured me everything was okay, because I'm telling you, I was feeling terrible about making him wait on me for 3 hours. Um, my next goal was to try and get other people's signatures since I couldn't get Peach's signature. So I had some other books, but y'all know how I roll. I get my signed books CGC. Y'all know how I roll. You watch the channel. So that means I had to find a CGC witness. And I have never done this before because I've never dropped off books at a show before, at a con. So this is all another learning experience for me. I'm about to learn. So first, I'm trying to find out where the artists are. So I go to Artist Alley, but the people that I was looking for weren't there. So that means they were with like a comic retailer. So I had a book for Alan Qua, David Nakayama, Brian Stelfreeze, David Finch, Peach Momoko. So I'm looking for where they are. I was able to locate Alan Qua first. So I knew where he was. He was with Scott's Collectibles, which is a UK retailer, but that's the table that he was at. So I said, okay, cool. I know where he is. Now I have to go get a CGC witness, to watch him sign the book. But while I'm looking around, I see Unknown Comics booth. And I don't know if any of you guys ever purchased from them. I've used Unknown Comics in the past. And I'm familiar with, their Facebook group because I'm in their Facebook group and everything. So David Nakayama was with Unknown Comics. So I go to that booth and he's not there. But the owner of Unknown Comics was there, Darren. And I recognized him from streams and stuff like that. So I walked up to him and I said, Darren, and he was like, yeah. I said, how you doing? I said, I'm one of your customers. I'm in your Facebook group. He was very nice, guys. He got up out of his chair, shook my hand, told me it was nice to meet me. I know people have said things about him and their experiences. I have never had an issue with Unknown Comics, and I'm telling y'all, he was a very nice guy, at least to me. We talked for a minute. I was asking him questions about how I can get my book signed by Nakayama, and he told me that Nakayama was on a break and that I would have to come back, later. And then I asked him about CGC witnessing, because believe it or not, some people don't like you to get your books CGC'd, or they don't want you to get a witness to watch them sign the books. I don't know why, but some people are like that. But he said it's totally fine. I just had to bring my own witness. They didn't do their own witnessing at the booth. So cool. So now I'm kind of getting my bearings, and I go find the CGC booth to get a witness, and there's a line for that. So I'm like, okay. Um, we get over there, and it was funny because that's the booth is where you drop your books off, and it's also where you get a witness. So I wasn't sure if the people in line were just waiting for a witness or if they were waiting to fill out paperwork to drop off their books. So the guy ended up telling me, I told him what I needed. He says, yeah, just go ahead and wait in line. So we're all in line. And this guy walks over there like he owns the place. Like we're all in line for a witness. He goes, hey, yo, I need a witness. I need somebody to come walk with me like right now. And then the people in the line was like, hey, buddy, chill. We all waiting for a witness. So he did not want to get in the back of the line. It was hilarious. So I don't know what was happening. With as far as the witnesses, they were shorthanded or if they were just all, in different places. When a bunch of us were there, they came to the line and asked us, what do you need? What do you need? Witness, witness. So he went down the line. So it was about a group of us, like I want to say 5 of us at least, maybe 5 or 6, that all needed a witness. And they had one witness and they gave us all to him. Normally, you just get your own witness and he walks around with you and gets your book signed. A group of us had to be attached to one guy. So he was like, okay, we need to go and prioritize where to go. This is not normal for one witness to have a group of people with him. So he was like, y'all gonna have to follow me if y'all want me. I gotta go to this person first, then this person, and y'all gotta just tag along. So it was crazy. I got lucky. They went to the Alan Qua table first. He was actually the closest to the CGC table. So it was me and another person who wanted, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but Inyuk Lee's signature. He was also at the Scott's table. So the witness comes over there to that table first. Now, Alan Qua was working on a commission. And they said, well, you don't have to wait because he's going to be a while with this commission. You could just go up and hand your book to him and he'll sign it. Okay, cool. So I walk up to Alan Qua. He was kind of focused on the commission, but he saw me, he took my book. And I turned around just for a second, y'all, to make sure the witness was there watching. And before I knew it, Alan Qua had signed my book, but he turned it and signed it upside down. So the signature is going to be upside down. It's going to be upside down on the book. So that was my first my first signature. His signature is really nice though, y'all. The way he does it, I can't wait to show you guys when I get the books back. So, but he writes like an A and a Q. It's really cool, but it's upside down. So that was fun. Now, the guy also watched the Inhickly sign signature. So then we got to go to like Ryan Otley, Umberto Ramos, and another one. So I also wanted, remember, Nakayama's signature. So then he was like, well, we going this way. So we go to Otley's table next because, again, he's the next one in the path. So we're all attached at the hip to this one guy. And Otley had a line. So the guy who needed the Otley witness, he says, go ahead and stand in line. We are going to come back to you and go try to find to see if someone else is ready for their signature. So we left the guy and he was kind of panicking at first, like, oh, wait, don't leave. And so the CGC witness told him, like, if I'm not back before it's your turn, just don't take the books from him once they're signed. He said, just wait for me to come back and I will take them. Because what they do is once the book is signed, they put it in this CGC bag and it's sealed. And you could tell if the seal is broken or open. So your book is sealed inside after they witness the signature. And only a CGC witness can open it. Let's say if you wanted to get like a second signature on the same book, then they would have to open it, watch that new signature, and then give you a brand new bag to seal it in. So they all get sealed up once they're witnessed. Um, Let me check in the chat real quick. I know I'm talking a lot. Um, yeah, yeah, that's what we were all looking like for real. Like that's what we all here for, buddy. We all here. Yeah, this was my first time, so you know, I'm learning on this. I'm learning. So yeah, yeah. A lot of the artists have really nice signatures. So his is one of them. And it's funny because I'm kind of particular about my signatures. I don't get signatures from everybody because if it looks kind of crazy, I'm like, you're gonna make the book look ugly. So I don't want to get a sig from that. Hey, 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 glad you could make it, Sarah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that's my best friend right there. Danny. I'm so mad that I didn't get to see you at SDCC. Uh, it was my first time, and I got to learn how to coordinate better with people. Otherwise, I would have loved to have met you. But, we talked on Instagram, so maybe next time I can coordinate a little bit better. No, they are not on the way home yet. So I'll get to that as well. So we're going around with this witness, running around the freaking convention. I'm already tired because I stood in line for 3 hours at DC. My feet were kind of done. And then not just that, standing in line to get into the convention. And so, yeah, I was already tired, but we're running around and, we finally get everybody done. We make it back to the Otley guy, and we actually made it back to him just in time before the guy handed over his books. So it all worked out. And then I go back because I'm looking for Brian Stelfreeze. I had 2 books for him that I wanted to sign, and David Finch, who were also at the same, were supposed to be with the same group. However, Stelfreeze was on the pre-con confirmed list. However, he was not there. They checked their list and they said we don't have him on the list as an artist who's actually here with us. So I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if he just didn't come until Saturday or Sunday, or if he was a total no-show. So I was kind of bummed about that because he is he's actually the only artist that I didn't get a signature from. So I went back to find Nakayama, but he wasn't coming back until way, way later in the day. So at that point, I am just pooped. And I didn't even really go eat because I heard the convention food was gross. So I was kind of just living off of these kind of power bars, protein bars. So I know it's bad, but I had plenty of water. So that's the important thing, is I had water. So at this point, I'm walking around and trying to take in some of the con because I haven't done any of that yet. I've just been running around with this CGC witness for half the time and half the time at DC. So I'm trying now just to see some of the sites. And I didn't get to see a whole bunch of them because at that point, I was tired and the day had kind of gone by pretty fast. I did finally, Nakayama didn't come back until almost 6. I think they closed the convention at 7. I want to say it closes at 7. He came back to his table around 6. So I was able to get in line for him. Really nice guy. He is really nice. I actually brought a Star Wars cover for him to sign. And he was surprised, because he does a lot of the color bleeds and, other stuff. So this is one of his older pieces that he did. And yeah, we talked about that. He was telling me all the books, and he said, "Oh, you like this one?" He was like, "Well, I did this, this, and that," and telling me which books, if I was interested in his other Star Wars books, which ones to go after. So he was a really nice. We chatted for a minute, and it was funny because I had to go back to the CGC booth to get another witness because I had to come back later for Nakayama, and I ended up with the same guy. This little CGC witness, me and him like became buddies. Because he was like, "Oh, you back?" He was like, "You need me?" And he was like, "I'm here for you. I'm here for you." He was funny. And this time it was just he and I. We he didn't have anybody else waiting for him. And even he said that the day had been crazy and that it was so crazy for him to have a whole group of us and he's running around the convention just trying to help all of us at the same time. So he was really nice. And I accomplished as much as I could that day. And I enjoyed it. Let me see. I just want to make sure I didn't leave anything out for day one because day one was kind of learning on the fly. Um, there was some cool stuff. I don't know if I could show the pictures of some of the stuff I saw because y'all know how I get on these lives where I try to share stuff and then I disappear. I could try it, but y'all know how I don't do this often, so it gets kind of crazy. Um, Let me check the chat real quick and see what y'all talking about. Let me catch up with y'all. Let me see. Okay, so that's where I left off. Yeah, kind of. I had to get it out. I could have shared it on social media, but this is way too much to type. It's too much to type. So I thought I would just come on here and just tell y'all about it. Um, yeah, it was a learning experience for me, and I missed a lot, Danny. I can't tell you. I the first day I didn't even see the Marvel booth. Went right by it. I was like just trying to find my bearings. Everybody was, and when I got in line the second day, people were like, "Oh, did you go to the Marvel booth? You telling me about DC?" I'm like, "Marvel has a booth." I was like, I totally missed it the first day. So, yeah, um, it was fun though. It was fun. Let's see. Yeah, right, exactly. I was able to sustain myself on those protein bars. Like I said, probably not the best thing. I did have a nice dinner when I left, so it wasn't like I didn't eat any real food for the day. So I made sure I had a nice dinner afterwards. So thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. And yes, all in all, it was fun. I was very tired, but I had a great time. And I'll get to day two in a second. Yeah, it is. SDCC is huge, and there were a lot of people there. I don't know how it looks when there's, all the actors and Marvel has their panels and stuff. I bet it's even more bananas. But even without all of that, it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Funko food. Oh yeah, that was another cool thing they had there. They had Funkoville there. So that was actually pretty cool to see. Um, I'm not a Funko collector, but it was cool to see the whole Funkoville, and you just walk to that side, and there's Funkos everywhere. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, John. It's really cool. It's bananas. So be ready for crazy crowds, but it's still a cool experience. The cosplay, you guys, was phenomenal. I mean, I love to see people's creativity. And some people, oh my gosh, it was absolutely amazing to see the level of creativity that people put into their cosplay. Absolutely love that part of it as well. Um, it was kind of funny because there was one guy who he was Matt Murdock. So at first I was like, oh man, is he blind? But then I looked closer and realized that he was cosplaying as Matt Murdock. He had the red shades, he had the walking stick, and he had the suit that, Daredevil or Matt Murdock usually wears, when he goes to court and stuff. So it was funny because I just had to do a double take that because he was playing the part. I'm like, what is he? And then, he did something where I realized that he was actually playing Matt Murdock. So good cosplay, really good cosplay. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is the fun. I love that too, hearing stories of, books and things like that. Hey now. Thank you for stopping by, Amadou. Thank you. Yes, it was my very first SDCC. I had gone to Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is here in Arizona, last year, and it was just okay. It wasn't crazy, crazy. It was okay. This year, however, they did it bigger. They had a lot more people, which I wasn't aware that they were going to have, more people. I think they were just really starting to get back into it last year, and this year they really went in full force. But I missed that one. But going from that one to San Diego Comic Con, it was a world of difference. It was a huge difference. So, yeah, that was my first really big con in a really long time. When I used to live in Michigan, I used to go to Motor City Comic Con. But again, that was so long ago, it was nothing like what I experienced at San Diego Comic Con. So, yeah, yeah, it's a big difference. It's a big difference. Yeah, I know, right, Danny. And that was me too. I was laser focused on just really trying to get those signatures because I had brought all those books with me, hauling them around in my backpack. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I had this backpack, and then me not thinking, I had the books because the whole thing was in the end the books were supposed to be handed off to CGC. Let me tell y'all how that worked real quick. So I got, the signature from Alan Qua. So they put it in the bag. He says, "Are you getting any more signatures?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, I want this person, this person, this person." He was like, "Okay." So I thought, okay, he sealed it up. I couldn't get Nakayama's signature till later that day. I thought I was going to just give him the book and then go about my business. But he was like, "You have two options." He was like, we could take this book to the booth and you can, fill out the paperwork for it, or you can keep the book until you've gotten all the signatures you wanted and then bring them all to the booth at the same time. What's the difference? The difference is if you go book by book, they charge you shipping for each book you drop off individually. So if I'd have handed him the Alan Qua book, then later on I'll go get the Nakayama book and then drop that off. That would have been, I think they charge at least $20 shipping. So $20 shipping for one book if you decide that you didn't want to walk around with your signed books and drop them off. Of course, I didn't do that. I'm not about to pay $20 per book. So, but I didn't know that this is how it worked, y'all. I didn't know. So now I'm walking around with bags in my hand of signed books, and I'm having to be careful and try not to smush it and try to remember that I'm holding books in my hand because I got so much going on. And that was an unexpected part of getting books signed and wanting them CGC is having to carry the books around all day. Like not in my backpack because I didn't want them smushed. So I'm holding them in my hand, y'all, just to try and be extra careful with these freaking books and make sure that the tamper bag doesn't somehow get open. Because if that bag is open, it's over. So yeah, y'all, that's how that works. So the books I got signed on day one, I had to take them all the way back with me to the hotel and then bring them all the way back the next day, get more books signed, and carry all these books. So that was actually not fun. It wasn't fun, but it saved me money, but it wasn't fun. So That's how that works if you're wondering. So if you ever drop your books off at a show, you're getting them signed and you want them CGC'd, be prepared to keep those books unless you want to pay $20 for every book that you get signed. So that's how that works. So the if you're asking about the signature prices, they weren't bad. Most people were charging between $5 to $20. The difference was, and this is tripping me out, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is all new to me learning. $5 if you were just getting a raw signature, $15 to $20, depending on the booth and what they wanted to charge, if you wanted to have your book witness. Now, mind you, you're bringing the witness. So nobody at the booth is a witness. You have the CGC witness with you, but they upcharge for you getting a witness signature. So that was interesting to me. I ended up talking to some guys about it on my second day there. I'll get into day 2 in a second, but that's how that worked. But I would still say, it's not bad. Peach Momoko signed for free. She did not charge. The only thing she charged for was a remark. So when you get a ticket from her, there were certain tickets that were marked with a star. So if you happen to be a lucky person to pull a ticket with a star, that means that you had the opportunity to get a remark. And she only charged $20 for a remark. And her remarks were awesome. So I appreciated her because you had a 5-book limit, but she was signing for free. So witness or not. So that was all good with her. Let's see. Yeah, it was a lot. But once you learn it, I feel like if I went next year, I could definitely navigate it a lot better because this was a total learning experience. And I'm sharing it with you guys. I know it's different being in the hustle and bustle, but just trying to give you guys an idea on what you have to do or what to expect if you were to attend and you're looking to get signatures that are CGC'd. If you like them raw, then you all good. You could just get your book signed and keep walking. So that works out very good for people who don't care about getting CGC. Let's see. You know what? Okay, so I didn't really go there looking to buy comic books. I know that sounds crazy, but the last time when I went to the Phoenix Fan Fusion, all the books there, not all of them, but a lot of the books there seemed like they were priced higher. I would look at the book that they're selling because it's right there in my hand, and I would look on eBay to see what they are going for on eBay, and even factor in the shipping. And some of the books were way cheaper with shipping if I bought it on eBay. So it was weird because I'm like, well, I don't want to really buy comics here because of the upcharge. And I get why they may have to upcharge. SDCC booth is, quite expensive from what I've heard. And so I get it. They have to balance it out somehow. But I really wasn't there looking to buy comics. I was really just there to experience the whole thing and get me some signatures and get me a commission. Those were my main goals, and I am happy to say that I got those accomplished. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that as well, that they think because of the lack of the Marvel and Hall H and stuff, that maybe a lot more people were down there. I can't even imagine what Saturday was like. But Thursday and Friday were crazy too. So I don't know next year if they get through this strike and everything. If I decide to go back, I'm a little nervous to see what it's like when all the craziness and everybody's in line for actors and stuff. So one thing I wish I could have done was some panels. Those seem like a really cool thing to take in. And the artist that I got my commission from, he did a panel, and he told me that they wanted him to draw in the panel. And he decided, well, I got to do this commission. I'm gonna just go ahead and work on her book. He said he drew my commission in the panel while he was doing the panel. So that was pretty cool. He shared that with me. But I wish I actually could have been in that panel. That would have been cool to see him doing my book live. But I missed out on that. Let's see. Oh, maybe. I missed all I didn't go to the what is that? Heroes something, the whatnot place that they had set up. I did not go over there. So I missed a lot of people. I really stayed at the convention. I know there were lots of other things and other places to go, and a lot of people like were over at that. It's called Hero something. If somebody was there and know exactly, but they had like a little whatnot thing. And I didn't even venture over that way, but I know a lot of people did because they had a bar over there. So um, that was funny. I found that out after the fact because I was looking at Instagram posts and then somebody told me about it. And I was like, oh, that explains why so many people look drunk in their photos. They were at the whatnot bar. So that was pretty funny. Let's see. Okay. She wow, okay. That's interesting. So she cared about where you wanted your book signed. That's interesting. Um, but I guess Todd kind of did that too. Not at the convention, but he made a little video about you know where you should get a book signed to try not to cover up the art. So let's see. Um, Yeah, I mean, because it started off with me standing in one line for 3 hours, and it just kind of, took the wind out of my sails for a minute. I mean, I was happy because I got everything I wanted from that line, but just standing there was unexpected for me to be in that one spot for 3 hours. So, oh, okay. I haven't heard of that one. But that's the name sounds interesting. But yeah, all of these cons just have gotten bigger, but I've seen like I'm in a Facebook group where people like show their commissions and who they got them from and how much they charge. And I was a little jealous because a lot of people got some really awesome commissions at Terrificon, which I've never been to Terrificon, but I'm going to assume it's smaller than SDCC. And so I'm thinking in the future that I might want to try and make some of these smaller cons because people got really, really great stuff from Terrificon. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like feeling a little jealous. Like I love my commission. I'm absolutely over the moon for it. But to see some of the pieces that people got there, and they got multiple pieces at Terrificon from different artists. So it seemed like it was a little bit easier to get commissions done from the artists at that con versus trying to book something with the artists at SDCC. So let's see. None of my drop offs. Well, I'll take that back. One did. So I did drop off a book for the Kevin Eastman private signing. So I think because that one is like a private signing that they were just taking books for, that one did show up. The other books where I went and got the signatures myself, none of those have showed up on my dashboard yet. I'm checking too, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a little worried because the CGC rep, and I didn't realize it till way after the fact, they didn't give me my yellow copy. So it's like a carbon copy that you get after you fill out the form for your books. And I don't have mine. They didn't give it to me. So I'm a little nervous. And yes, I keep checking my dashboards, see if those books show up. Fingers crossed everything works out, guys. But yeah, I don't have my carbon copy of my submission. So But the Daredevil, excuse me, the Kevin Eastman. I dropped off a Daredevil book for Kevin Eastman. That one did show up, so I'm keeping the faith that the other ones will show up as well. Let me see. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I had to learn, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm not gonna be surprised if some of those books have some type of damage. I tried to look them over as good as I could when I was handing them over to CGC at the end. But I'm not expecting really any 9/8 or anything because I don't know how they handle them at the show. Once you hand them over, they put them in a box, and then I think they got to take them back to the CGC headquarters in Florida. So I didn't opt for the CGC pressing. Y'all know how I roll. I press my own books. I probably should have, but in the end, I'm just happy that I got some books signed by, some cool artists. So I will unbox those and I will absolutely do a video so y'all can see how those books that I toted around turned out. Let's see. For real? Okay, so I'm not alone. Yeah, and it was so many people that seemed seasoned there, but uh yeah, Danny, I'm surprised that you're a first timer with this. You got so many comics and slabs that that's actually surprising to me. But yeah, we were learning. Yep. Oh man, I'm telling y'all, Peach Momoko, whether you like her art or not, she is an awesome person. So I'm going to get into day two. Let me just get caught up real quick so that y'all can see. Yeah, yeah, the smaller cons are probably the way to go for deals. Really? So you're talking about like the fan Dallas Fan Expo? Um, that's interesting, but it's probably like that with a lot of cons, and I think that one is kind of a big deal too. The Dallas Fan Expo, C2E2, all of those. So it's probably not really deals to be had at those kind of cons. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And talking to people there, I just talked to a lot of people because I was standing in line for hours. So that's all I could do was just get to know the people around me. So it was fun. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to decide on which cons I want to go to in the future, for sure. But C2E2, it is one that I have wanted to go to in the past. So we'll see. I'm still trying to decide, which ones I want to try and attend next year. So it may be on the list, but I will definitely remember to try and look you up if I go. Um, Danny, I will message you. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I will definitely message you with the group. You might already be in it, but I'll shoot you a message after we get off here. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that people talk about deals they get, and I'm telling y'all the art people picked up and the commissions were fire, and like people were getting multiple things. I got one commission. People were like, "Oh, and so did this, and I got so and so to do that," and the prices were cheaper than what you would pay at San Diego. So that's the other thing. I guess bigger con, more expensive booth, artists charge a little bit more at this con. The prices at the other con for like full figures, let's just say at San Diego Comic Con, a full figure commission will probably be like, let's say $500. At Terrificon, it was like 350. That's a big difference for a full figure. 350 versus 500. So I'm telling y'all, I was feeling some envy. Like, oh my goodness, I need to attend this con. And it seems like there were a lot of artists who maybe didn't want to deal with the craziness of SDCC that were at the smaller con instead. So I think some of them feel a bit more comfortable just not being in that craziness, which, you can't be mad at that at all. Okay. Okay. I will keep that in mind. Again, I'm trying to compile a list and then make a decision on where I want to go in the future. Um, I'm keeping all of that in mind. All she saw was the beard. They both have great beards, so you can't blame the wifey for that one. Oh, that's a good one though. That's funny. That's funny. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let me go to day two. So I did not get a peach ticket on day one. So second try, day two. I get up early again, get up for the shuttle. The first shuttle is at 5 a.m. from the hotel. I get there, I'm out there before 5 a.m. And oh my goodness, y'all, the shuttle is late. And not just late, I think they arrived, oh my gosh, like around 5:20, something like that, 5:25. The shuttle was late. And here I am. I'm in my feelings now. Like I have absolutely no shot because I'm late. I'm later. I'm arriving later than I got here yesterday. But to my surprise, when I got to the con, I was in line even closer than the day before. I don't know what people didn't get out of bed on Friday or whatever, but yeah, I got in line and I was a lot closer the second time around. So I was like, so there's a chance. There's a chance that I could still get a peach ticket. So I'm in line and some guys came in behind me. So we're all sitting there and it's so crazy. My channel is not a big comic channel. There are some really big ones out there, but the guys behind me were viewers of the channel. They heard me talking and it was like, oh my gosh, I know you. You're on YouTube. I watch your channel. So that was pretty funny to me that for such a small channel, that the people directly behind me were actually viewers of the channel. And guys, if you're watching, hi, you made it so enjoyable to be in line. The time flew with you guys, and great group of guys that I met, y'all. We all in line, just telling stories, talking about what our goals were once we got into the con. Absolutely fun with those guys. Um, and when we got in there, I'm closer than I was yesterday, and I'm with these guys, and some of them had already been to San Diego before, so they're kind of teaching me some things. So they're like, okay, when it's time to stand up, be ready to move. So what we started doing was there were little openings, like we're behind people, but there are little openings this way. He says, start shuffling to your right. He was like, get to that opening over there, which was closer. We was inching closer and closer and closer. Were some people looking at us kind of side eye? Yeah, but it was a free space. It was an open space. So I'm like, well, nobody's standing there. So we're going to stand here. So we moving and we moving. Finally, they open the convention doors. We all squishing into the escalator. And I make a beeline to the peach booth. And yes, I made it in time to get a ticket. Woohoo! So, mission accomplished there. My time for the ticket was 4 o'clock. So, I think she was doing her signings between 2 and 5 that day. So, it was only like a 3 hour window where she was signing books. And my time on the ticket was 4 o'clock. So, we get the ticket, and then the person who is giving out the ticket says, make sure to come back to the line a half an hour before your time. So, be there at 3:30. Okay, cool. So I still had to get David Finch's signature. So I went and did that. Really nice guy, y'all. Oh my goodness. I brought him a Miles Morales book to sign, and we started talking about the Spider-Verse movie. So Across the Spider-Verse. And yeah, he's a really nice guy. we talked for a minute, and he was nice enough to take a picture with me with the book that he signed for me. So really cool moment for me. I love David Finch's artwork. Love the way he draws Wolverine. He draws a really great Batman. And it was surprising to me. I forgot that he had drawn this Miles Morales cover that I have. I went through my CLZ, that app where you keep your comics, and I typed in David Finch to see what David Finch books I had, and that Miles book popped up, and I totally forgot that he was the artist on that book. So y'all know Miles is my guy. I'm like, cool, I can get a Finch signature on a Miles book, and that's exactly what I did. So day 2, because I got the ticket for Peach, I wanted to take in the con a little bit more and see some things, because I felt like I missed pretty much everything on the first day. So I'm walking around, and I did see the Marvel booth finally. I didn't really see anything I wanted from the Marvel booth. I did get to spin the wheel there and won a lanyard. Woohoo! And yeah, I just went around looking at some statues, some really cool stuff that I saw statue wise, which makes a big difference for a collector like me who is not used to seeing what the scales look like until I actually receive the statue. Seeing a picture of it is way different than seeing this thing in person. When I got that Superman, oh my gosh, y'all should have seen my face. That base on that thing is gigantic, and I had no idea that a 1/3 scale would be that big. It was crazy bananas to me. So if I'd have been a collector attending cons in the past, I would have had an idea on what the different scales look like. So seeing them in person was really, really cool. They look fantastic in person, and also giving me more knowledge on what each scale looks like in person. So I loved that, absolutely loved that. And then I actually ran into a friend from high school. That was crazy to see her. And she was in the line at Hasbro. So Hasbro, they were demoing the Grimlock, which I posted on my Instagram, where, he transforms, a transformer that just transforms on his own on voice command. You give him little commands and he'll transform into like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or a dinosaur, and then he'll transform into his robot form. So it's really cool to see that. But she was in the line to get a Hasbro figure made of herself. So Hasbro was doing this. It's in beta testing form, where they take a scan of your face. And it's almost like if you setting up Face ID for your phone. So you're sitting in the chair and you're moving your head around and doing all that. And they had these figures like Spider-Man, Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, different characters, but your face, they would make the figure with your face and the hero's body. So that is something that they were doing at the Hasbro booth. You get it made and they mail it to you. I think it was like $75 for the figure, but it would essentially be an action figure of you. So I didn't get that done, but she was telling me about it. It was really good running into her. And I told her to please share her action figure with me once she gets it. So she said it takes a few weeks for them to mail it out. So yeah, day 2, Peach, well, for whatever reason, was running late. I'm not sure what happened there, but I come back to the line at 3:30 like I'm supposed to. And they was like, nope, 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 you can't get in line. You can't get in line. And I'm like, but we were told to come here at 3:30. She's like, nope, we're running behind. So you got to come back in about an hour. Now, mind you, my ticket is at 4. She's telling me to come back in an hour. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm kind of nervous because the signing was supposed to end at 5. And so, no, excuse me. So she's telling me to come back at 4:30 and the signing's supposed to end at 5. And I'm like, what? So now I'm getting all like, no, this cannot be happening. I worked hard to get this freaking ticket. And now you're telling me that I have to come back way later than I'm supposed to be here. So again, I'm watching and learning, watching and learning. So I see a group of people standing over there, and so I start talking to them, and they were the 4 o'clock people. So they didn't skedaddle somewhere. They were like, nope, we sit right here, because sometimes what happens is that they'll have the Linus Caps sign in their hand, and then they'll go ahead and start letting people in the line. So um, I hung around this time because I'm like, y'all not getting me again with the Linus Cap thing. And then I end up missing my turn completely. So more standing, just more standing, and getting to know people in the line. However, again, she is running late. So what ended up happening is Peach, first of all, her line was crazy, y'all. I was able to get to Nakayama, no problem. Ellen Kwa, no problem. David Finch, no problem. At the most, it was like 3 people ahead of me in those lines. Peach's line was wrapped around the freaking corner. It's crazy. The only other line that was probably as crazy as hers was Todd McFarlane's lane. Excuse me, his line. Yeah, so her line was crazy busy. So she wants to accommodate her fans as much as she can. So she was like, you know what? I was running late. I will stay until the convention closed to make sure that everybody who has a ticket gets their book signed. That's the kind of person she is, y'all. She was like, I'll stay to the end. So not even just going the 3 hours, but going beyond the 3 hours just to please her fans and make sure she's not letting anybody down. So that was really cool. We got in line. However, the line was moving so slow. Like when I got in line for the 3:30, when I came over there, they were still working on people who were in line from the 1 o'clock signing. So we're talking about really, really behind. Um, After a couple of hours of standing there, we finally were let in the line. And at first it was moving slow. And then I think she started to pick up the pace. So they had the person who was kind of facilitating everything, like, everybody have your books out, do this, do that, so on and so forth, be ready. And the line really started moving. So in the end, everything worked out. I got up there, gave my books to Peach, spoke to her. She does not speak English, but she, I think she understands because, I was still talking to her. Like, I wanted my books with different color signatures. So I was telling her which color I wanted for each book. And she accommodated every color I asked for. She never said no. She was like, okay, okay. And she gave me some beautiful, beautiful signatures on my books. So she was really nice. And in the end, I got what I wanted, y'all. Again, the only one that I didn't get was Stell Freeze. Um, some things I heard, because there was a lot of standing in line. So this is just line chatter. This is not me confirming anything, just me talking to other congoers. So we're in a line, and the guy had went to, I guess, the McFarlane line first. And he was told that he could not have his books witnessed. And this is what I was talking about earlier. So Todd McFarlane is one of those people. He said that he feels like signatures at cons are for the fans, is what he said. And so you cannot bring a CGC witness to Todd's table. He will not sign your book if you have a witness. He will only do signings and private signings for CGC. You cannot get your book CGC if you're standing in line for him at the con. Which is just interesting to me because not all of us are flippers. I still have my Todd books. I didn't sell them, Some of us just like them to be encapsulated so that we can keep them preserved because it has the signature on it. But yeah, he would not allow witness signatures. So I found that interesting. Peach, on the other hand, her line was crazy, so crazy that they had a witness stationed at her table. So you didn't even have to go get your own. They had one stationed because she just had so many people in her line. Crazy. Another thing I heard when we were in line is that Donnie Cates was there. I did not see him personally. Again, this is just me having conversations in the line while we were waiting. And they said that they felt like there was something medically wrong with him. Um, they said when they gave him the books to get signed, he kind of, his hand was going like this before he would sign it, and almost like he was maybe practicing it in the air. Um, and then he finally put the pen or the marker down to actually sign the book. But when they were watching their book get signed, they felt like that maybe something was wrong with him medically. So I don't know that for sure. I'm not confirming anything, just what other congoers were saying as we were all waiting in line and talking about who we had seen and who we had got our book signed by. So I hope that he's okay. Um, but that was, what was talked about while we were there. So, yeah, guys, that was my experience. I think we are, let me see, am I at an hour yet? So I'm a little over an hour. I want to try and get it all in. But let me see, let me catch up with the chat because I'm not just going to cut y'all out because, I like to kick it with y'all. So let me see, let me get caught up real quick. Hey, Buck Bangs, thank you for stopping by. Y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. I've had some really good luck with 9/8, but this is different. I mean, you handing them to a person at a show and then they putting them in the box and then they traveling to Florida after that. I'm very confident when I press my books, I pack them myself and mail them. Now I'm trusting somebody else to do all that. So I don't know. But if they're not, I'm all good with that. I'm not a person who feels that all modern should be 9/8. That's not me. Plus they're signed. Y'all saw what happened to my Todd McFarlane book. It came back a 9.2 because somehow it got crushed. I don't know how that happened, but it's 9.2. It is what it is. I'm still okay with it. I'm happy to have a book that's signed by Todd McFarlane. So yeah. Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see everything. And just cross our fingers that everything came out okay. Let's see. Yes, absolutely. That Anthony, that's one of the main reasons why I did it was just financial. That plus feeling reassured that the book has been worked on. I hear so many horror stories where a person feels like they sent the book off and the defects that they felt were pressable are still in the book after it's supposedly been pressed. So for me, it was more of reassurance that okay, this book actually was pressed. It was worked on to the best of my ability. Plus, you get to take as much time as needed on that book. There is no rush. I get with some pressers, they're so backed up with submissions that, they may only get to press a book once. Hey, I pressed it, I ran it through the press once, and that's as good as it's going to get. Whereas you do it yourself, you can work on it as much as you need to. So I've gotten pretty lucky with a lot of my books coming back as 9/8. But this is different. We'll see. But either way, I still will be happy. Hey, Geno's Comics, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Yeah, New York is another one. I have a friend going to that one. And I heard that it's awesome. I heard it's awesome, but it's also bananas. So I don't know if I want to do New York Comic Con. Again, for me, I might try to focus on some of the smaller ones, but I'm pretty sure you would have a wonderful time there. I'm sure of it. Yeah, they do have bigger names for sure. But some of the smaller cons just have a lot more people. Like Terrificon had people that weren't at SDCC. Yeah, you got some of the big names there, but there was, it was more expensive. Let's just put it that way. So, you can still get some great things done at the smaller cons and also save a little bit of money. So, I don't know. That just might be my focus, going into next year. See, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Terrificon. I saw some of the pricing. People posted, and yeah, the prices were definitely cheaper than San Diego Comic Con for sure. I heard Heroes Con was really nice. I saw pictures from that, and yeah, that was another one that I wish I could have gone to. But a lot of people seem to have enjoyed that particular con as well. That's a good one. That's a good one, Gino. Yeah, someone else earlier mentioned that one in the chat. That's a good one to probably go to. So I'm definitely compiling a list. Yeah, yeah, and I'm learning. I'm learning. So I enjoy the tips, Anthony. I appreciate it because uh, I'm pretty new to getting commissions done. I got my first one done at the Phoenix Fan Fusion. There weren't a lot of people there, so I was able to get one done. But it's still a learning curve for me um, to try and start reaching out to artists. I did ask Ryan about commissions outside of the con. So he does his a little bit differently. If you are wanting to just reach out to him to get a commission, then you have to send an email to his art rep. And that list is actually pretty long, they said, versus he does special openings just for cons. Um, so he said he'll open up maybe a list for the con specifically for like 2 weeks before the con actually starts, and you can get the commission done right then and there. But if you go the other way and just say, "Hey, I want to get a commission at some point," I think the waiting list can be kind of long for some artists going that route versus trying to get one done at the con. I wish I was not one of the lucky tickets that had the star on it, but yeah, the person in front of me was one of the lucky persons. So I actually got to watch her do the remark, and she did some awesome stuff. And she's as sweet as pie. Let's see. I would have loved to have gone for preview night. I think it's probably a little bit more chill that night, and you probably can get some stuff done ahead of time. Um, And yeah, I wasn't even trying to mess with Saturday. I wasn't even trying. I heard in the past from other people how Saturdays is just bananas. So I was like, I don't want to get too overwhelmed with it. So Thursday and Friday was good enough for me. However, I do see why people get all 4 days because there's even with my 2 days, I still missed so much. So having the ticket, the access for 4 days can be helpful so that you just get more of the full experience. So I can see it both ways. Contemplating in the future if I want to do more than just the 2 days because I know I did miss a lot. So it's just really a matter of what you're there for. What do you want to do? Do you want to attend panels? Are you trying to, get exclusives, whether it be action figures, comics, things like that? Um, are you there just for the Hall H panels? People are there just for that stuff. So depending on what you really want to do, um, you know, it's just a matter of how many days you should attend. Actually, I was a little shy about it. I mean, my channel is small, so it tripped me out that the guys directly behind me knew me. So Um, it was interesting. I'll say that. And I was kind of, I was trying not to be too shy because I wanted to interact with them, especially since they were viewers of the channel. Um, but yeah, it was kind of cool. It was kind of cool. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Going to cons with artists who are normally not based in the US. That's another reason to go to them because you won't catch them otherwise. Getting commissions, getting signatures is very hard because they don't live in the U.S. So that was another reason for me to go to San Diego Comic Con. I don't know if a lot of them show up to the smaller cons, but a lot of them it seems like do attend San Diego and New York Comic Con. So that's also a good point that non-US based creators tend to come to the bigger cons for sure. Oh, okay, okay. Well, it was just some do I have it around? I don't know. If you had like the Marvel digital app. Like I have the app so I can read the comics digitally. It just said Marvel U on it, which I think is the logo on the comic app. So it was just a lanyard with the logo Marvel U all around it. It's cool. It was cool. They had other bigger prizes on there, but you know, a lanyard is a lanyard. I actually got in trouble, y'all, because I didn't have a lanyard at first. Um, when you go to San Diego Comic Con, they have this like little room where you get they call a swag bag. So you get a bag, you get free lanyard, and you know a San Diego Comic Con pin. I did not go to that room because the guy that was from he was like, you can get that stuff later. He's like, girl, you got to get in this line if you're trying to get this signature. So I skipped that and I never went back to it. So I didn't have a lanyard, y'all. And security was like, where's your badge? And I was like, well, it's right here. He was like, why aren't you wearing it? I was like, I don't have a lanyard yet. And a guy who was nice enough I was standing by the DC booth when he was chastising me about my lanyard, happened to overhear the security guard getting on my case. And he gave me a lanyard. He was like, here, she can have this one. So the security guard would just leave me alone. So it was very nice of him. He saw me getting hassled, so he gave me a lanyard. So it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool. People were so nice, y'all. I met some of the nicest people there. Some of the nicest people there. Let me see. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, his art is the bomb, y'all. His art is the bomb. And you know, he was a really nice guy. He loved Spider-Verse, by the way. He absolutely loved the first one, Into the Spider-Verse, and he felt like there was no way that they could top Into the Spider. We were talking about this. Me and him was just chatting it up about Miles. And he said he was blown away by the second one, but by the time the movie was, we're getting close to like an hour and 45 minutes into it, he was like, oh, this don't feel like this movie is coming to an end. Because he was kind of surprised. I was too. I didn't know there was going to be a third part when I saw the movie until I saw the movie. So he was talking about how surprised he was that, that there was a cliffhanger and we got to wait for, part three to come out. So, yeah. So that was pretty cool, meeting him and talking about Miles with him. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I've seen a few, but yeah, you're right. I haven't seen a whole lot. So I don't know. I wanted to take it all in, so I didn't do a lot of recordings or anything like that. But it was all just a learning experience for me. Let's see here. Because of each other. Yeah, I definitely heard about that. And it was a hot mess. Yeah, and how it made her uncomfortable. They absolutely had a bodyguard there. Y'all, the bodyguard was so funny. He was in line and he was making us laugh, but he was a big dude. He looked like he will absolutely crush you if you got out of line, but he was also a really cool guy. Big guy. He was telling us a story about somebody who had a lucky ticket to get a remark and they didn't want the remark. They didn't want a remark on their book. And he was like, are you crazy? You get a remark for $20 and you telling me you don't want this? So he had to find somebody that wanted to take the remark ticket because there was actually someone that pulled it that didn't want it. So, but he just felt it was, a golden opportunity, and he was baffled by the person actually saying, I don't want this. So he was a funny guy. He was a funny guy. He had me laughing. But yeah, Peach had a bodyguard because, probably because of what happened at New York. So let me just get caught up here. Let me see. Yeah. Did who sign what for free? Hey, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm just talking about SDCC. I appreciate you stopping by. Y'all, this guy right here does awesome figure posing. I don't know if y'all in any groups. Um, do you have a Instagram? I can't remember because I see your pictures all the time in the Discord. But awesome, awesome dioramas and figure posing. If y'all want to see some cool stuff, y'all need to check out 78 Points of Articulation. Some really cool stuff and pictures. Just awesome, awesome stuff. Uh yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That again, that's just what I was told that he will not let you get a witness signature. So cons are for the fans. You shouldn't be getting your signature witness. It feels like they feel like everyone who gets their book graded is just a flipper, and that's just not the case. This is not, and it's kind of messed up to be lumped in like that. But it's funny that they actually care what you do with your book. I mean, it's my book, and they care about what you do with it. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know what y'all think. Hey, Danger Close Thomas. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. I'm just yapping it up about my SDCC experience, just trying to, tell everybody how it went, some things that, you can expect if you ever decide to go. Hey, hey, let me see. First time in live. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, man, just to be a witness would have been cool. Let alone I wish I had a Stan Lee signed book. Oh man. But it's cool that you actually got to be a witness for it. So awesome, awesome. Let me see. Oh wow. Dang, yeah, that's crazy. That's yikes. Well, good luck to you, sir. I don't think I will be trying New York Comic Con, but good luck to you on your journey if you actually decide to go. Let's see. Rhode Island Comic Con is another one. Okay, celebrity heavy. So I know I'm not a person who needs to see celebrities. I'm not, celebrity awestruck and stuff like that. So I can do without that type of con. I'm there for books and to see some good art and some cool stuff. So I don't necessarily need to see celebrities. Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Hey, Bueller, how are you? Still watching you on your travels. I get a little jealous of these scenic pictures that you share with us. Um, I love it for you, and I hope to see some of these places someday. You share beautiful places with us. I'm from Michigan. I live in Arizona now with a lot of desert, but I'm from Michigan. So I'm used to the waters, and lakes and rivers, and I don't have much of that where I live now. So I'm living through you, seeing all this stuff. However, I will be going home to Michigan in the near future. So it's been a long time, and I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit of different scenery somewhere other than uh, sand and mountains. Oh man. Okay, so y'all, if y'all want to see some of those cool shots I was talking about, he's there. It is the same as his YouTube handle. So you see 78 points of articulation. Y'all want to see some cool figure posing and some cool shots and the dioramas that are made. Makes them himself. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So y'all can go give him a follow on Insta. Big Russ, my guy. This my homie, y'all. This my homie. We chop it up almost every day. He keep me in the loop. I keep him in the loop about comics. This is the person that actually wanted the bank robber Joker. I didn't stand in line just for him at DC for that 3 hour line, but he is the one that wanted that action figure. So, as a good friend, I stood in line so that my guy could get that figure, and I mailed it to him right away. Yeah, I did, Kenny, and I appreciate that. Um, Overall, I was tired, I was exhausted, y'all. My body hurt for days afterwards. I came home and I thought it was good. My flight home was a little weird. Very short flight from San Diego to Arizona. Very short. I don't think we were in the air even for, like 50 minutes. Really short flight. But it was weird because the flight was extremely bumpy on the way home. Now the sky was clear, it wasn't any storms going on, but the pilot announced that the ride was going to get bumpy because of how hot it was upon our arrival in Arizona. Now it wasn't crazy turbulent, but it did get. But it was a very bumpy ride home. I was very surprised at that. I didn't realize that hot air or the heat could cause such a bumpy ride. And when I tell y'all, the weather in San Diego was beautiful. It was like 79, 80 degrees there. And I'm coming home where it's like 115. It was, ah, I did not want to come back to this weather. We are still having that kind of weather. This has been one of the longest stretches in Arizona where we've had, I think we're over the 30-day mark of like 110 plus days of 110. Some of them have reached 115. I think our highest was like 118. But I did not want to come back from 80 degrees to 115, y'all. It was just, ooh. But again, I found it interesting that the pilot said that the hot air would cause, um, a bumpy ride. So let's see. It is. It is. They show this stuff on the news where like people like this person baked a pizza in their car and it actually worked. It took hours to do it, but the pizza actually cooked in their car. That's how hot it gets inside your car if you don't have, like tinted windows or a shade on there. Yeah, okay, Beulah, you say that now, but have you been here when it's 118? Like Michigan is absolutely beautiful. I guess because I grew up there, I'm more used to, the green and seeing everything here is like beige. Like everything is beige here, beige and mountains. But this is my home. This is where I decided to move to. My children were born here, which is weird to me that they weren't. They're from here, so they're natives to Arizona. I still can't wrap my head around that. But yeah, Bueller, come here when it's like crazy hot right now, and tell me that it's one of your favorite places. Wintertime, mwah, beautiful here in Arizona. We have a beautiful winter. But this summer has been really brutal, y'all. So I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. Yes, it's 110 plus. That's just usually the lowest. We're on like 30 something days with over 110. So it's been terrible. Seattle is one of my places to go. um, My daughter loves the rain. Ironically, we don't get a lot of it here, but she loves the rain. And it's on her place. She asked me would I take her there. And I told her that we were going to put that on the to-do list. So that is one of the places I want to absolutely travel to. Um, Portland, Oregon, you know, just some of the places that have better weather than 110. So yeah, see, okay, that's the better time to be here. Uh so January, February, beautiful winter, but exactly 118 is a pass. I want to pass on it. And I live here. So I don't even want to walk to the mailbox, y'all. I feel like I'm a turn 10 shades darker just by walking to get my mailbox, which is probably like 30 feet away from my house. Yeah, I heard. My mother-in-law lives in Texas, and she was saying how humid it is there, along with the heat. So she's not having a lot of fun there either. with all that humidity. So that's the one thing here. The heat is dry, but I'm telling y'all, it feels like you walking into a fire on some days. It just really does. It really does. Absolutely. The funny thing is that it actually gets cold here at night in the desert. So, people laugh and say, "Oh, you not cold there," but it gets to like 30 degrees. That's still cold. I mean, goodness gracious. Just because it's not getting to, you know, one below doesn't mean that 30 degrees isn't cold. So, um yeah, you get light your nice little campfire at night and enjoy the winter here. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm getting there. I don't know if I'm seasoned yet, but I definitely had a wonderful learning experience for sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to look up this Dragon Con though. I've never heard of that one, but I will definitely look it up. So she's not a big seafood person, but I am absolutely. So I would absolutely visit Pike Place Market for myself. I actually I'm really the only one in my household that eats seafood, but I grew up on it. My mom was like a skilled butcher. She could fillet a fish like any kind of way. She used to work in the seafood market in Michigan. And so she was a very skilled. I didn't pick up that skill. I wish I had, but she raised us on seafood. So I absolutely love seafood. My kids, not so much. The only thing my husband will eat is salmon. That's about it. I eat all kinds of seafood though. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the Midwest winters, I don't miss those, but I'm telling you, sometimes I think twice about it when it's like 100 and, 15 to 18 here. I'll be thinking twice about it. My husband refuses to move back. He said he will never move back to the cold, but I'm telling you, it be having a sister thinking because it's just so freaking hot here. Freaking hot. So, yeah, I don't do anything, y'all. I stay in the house all day. And I hate going out. I have to go grocery shopping at some point and, get food for our pets. But I hate it because it's hot. And I feel like I'll go pass out by the time I'm done and I get back home. I just don't want to do anything here. Wintertime, I tell everybody, if you want to come see me, do not come see me in the summer. Come in the wintertime or even the spring. Do not come here because we're not going to leave my house if you come see me in the summer. So that's just a fact. But um, yeah, guys, I am going to go ahead and get off this stream. I appreciate all of y'all stopping by and listening to me rant about my adventures at Comic Con. Hit me up on Instagram. I'll kick it with y'all. We could chit chat, chop it up. If you have any questions, shoot me a message and we could talk there. Um, Again, I will try to do this when I can. Trying to find that balance with making videos and getting out into the world and traveling more and just doing more things life wise. So until then, guys, I will be waiting on those books from SDCC. We'll open them together, see how everything turned out. And I appreciate each and every one of you stopping by. And I hope you all have a beautiful night and a wonderful weekend. And y'all take care.